This is part 2 of chapter 5, States of Consciousness. So, aging and the sleep cycle, our biological need for sleep changes throughout our lifespan. In the slide, you see the pie chart shows that relative amounts of REM sleep, which is dark blue, and then there's non-REM sleep, the medium blue. There's the awake times, which would be light blue. And it kind of shows how the average person experiences as an infant, as an adult, and then as an elderly person. So remember that REM stands for rapid eye movement sleep, okay? And this is that stage of sleep that's going to be marked by those rapid eye movements. Brain waves are going to be highly frequent. And here you will see paralysis of your larger muscles as well as in dreaming states. So you have to remember that learning and consolidation of memory mostly occurs during REM sleep. Non-rapid eye movement sleep consists of those first 4 stages, with stage 1 being the lightest, and then stage 4 being your deepest level. 3 and 4 is going to be your deepest. You need this non-REM sleep and before to kind of be satisfied before you're able to go into a good REM sleep. Now, there are many myths and misconceptions about this topic, and make sure that you're reading about the Mythbusters. You'll find it within your assignment in terms about myths about sleep and dreams. Fortunately, though, scientists have been able to carefully study what sleep and dreaming do for us and why we need to spend 25 years of our lives within these altered states of consciousness. There are 4 theories that we work through. The first one being the adaptation protection theory. That's where sleep helps us to conserve our energy. It protects us from predators, believe it or not, yes, as well as helps to regulate the circadian rhythms. The repair restoration theory is discussing how sleep will help us to recuperate, reboot, as I would say, allowing our bodies to be able to repair itself and to replenish key factors. Think about those times you're not feeling well. The majority of the times, like when we have a cold, we want to sleep. And that's the body's way of saying this is how we'll heal ourselves. Now, the next one will be growth development theory. And in the growth development theory, sleep helps to release that growth hormone from the pituitary gland. So when we need less sleep as we get older, because basically after 25, we've kind of done all the growing that we are going to do. And then, of course, there's the learning and memory theory. Sleep is extremely important for our ability to store memories and to be able to maintain our memories and recall it later on. So the question is, why do we dream? There are 3 specific viewpoints that we're going to go over now. The first one being wish fulfillment. Pretty much what we're doing is our dreams allow us to take our experiences that we might have had throughout the day, and it allows us to dream more about it. One example I can give is I love horror movies, and I tend to like to watch a horror movie right before I go to sleep so that I can continue it in my dreams. Because a lot of times I'm always angry with how people handle the situations in a horror movie, and I want to fix it. I know that's kind of morbid, but that's okay. The thing is, it's that type of content that I'm looking for to make those changes. This is what we call manifest content. Then there's latent content, and latent is those more unconscious types of experiences that we may have had that the brain might have decided this is not something that we want to express or deal with at a certain time. It may float up in our dreams later on, things that might have more hidden meanings to it. The thing with this type with wish fulfillment theory, it's more about it's not proven, intense. There's very little scientific support for this. Another area that we do look at, though, is the biological. Specifically, we look at the activation synthesis hypothesis. This is when our brain has more random type of activity, and a lot of our personalities, the things that inspire and motivate us, those special type of experiences that creates memories, kind of help to construct and maintain the dream. Now, finally, is cognitive. Think of our brain again as a computer, information processing. What they're suggesting here is that dreams allows us to kind of take what happened to us in a day and to assimilate and update our brain the information that we require to need. For example, this lesson that you're going through right now. When you go to sleep, all this information, the brain is going to go back through it and kind of work its way through to see what should be remembered and what is not. This is considered the strongest of the three in terms of evidence. We have been able to utilize uh, our techniques and tools to scientifically prove that information processing do occur in our dreams. Now, in your assignment, you'll be able to read in the assignment itself. I'm going to ask that you take time to read the descriptions of the studies that you can find in your textbook on page 127 and go through answering the questions, okay? That being the type of research study it is, if you believe it's to be experimental type of research, be sure to say which one is the independent variable, the dependent variable, what would be the experimental group as well as the control group. Descriptive method, you want to be able to tell me more about whether it's a naturalistic observation, if their study was used, or if it's a case study, and kind of describe that to me. Not just a descriptive method observation. I want more. Okay, so be sure that you kind of explain why you chose the methods that you're choosing. Again, and same thing holds true for the correlational method. Talk about whether it's a positive, negative, or a zero correlation and why. Biological method, here again, you might want to suggest what tools that they could have used to be able to disseminate the information and the data. Now, in terms of sleep disorders, there's an estimated 2/3 of American adults that suffer from sleep problems. And about 25% of children that's under the age of 5, they demonstrate and show sleep disturbances. So we as mental health professionals, we kind of divide sleep disorders into two major diagnostic categories. That being dysomnias, which kind of describes sleep problems with sleep, and then the parasomnias. Now this talks more about the abnormal sleep disturbances somebody might have. So going through them, you have insomnia, and of course, this is where you'll have either difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or you may even if you get to go to sleep, wake up really early. Narcolepsy is that sudden, irresistible urge to just fall asleep, and it's always usually during waking hours. So you can be speaking to someone, and then all of a sudden they go like that. Okay, so this is really a serious type of disorder because more or less, can you imagine someone when they're driving who is narcoleptic? Sleep apnea would be the third of the dysomnias, and here is that repeated interruption of breathing while you're asleep. A lot of times it causes snoring, very loud snoring. People don't get much sleep. Usually tends to occur to people who are obese. Um, and one of the things to kind of alleviate sleep apnea would be having to sleep on an incline, kind of have yourself propped up somewhat. You also can get what we call a IPAP machine as to help and assist with sleep. CPAP, excuse me. Then there's parasomnias. Now there's nightmares, and these are those bad dreams that happen and occurs during rapid eye movement, and this can be really significant in disrupting one's sleep. Night terrors, which sounds similar, but these are more abrupt. And I mean, you jump up, your heart is palpitating, you're sweating, and this usually occurs actually during non-REM sleep. And you're going to have a lot of disruptions with your sleep here as well. So, do you ever wonder what's the best type of way to handle these sleep problems? Well, research has been able to find consistent benefits from behavior therapy. meaning you can kind of use these same techniques for yourselves if you see yourself having to sleep. So one example might be when you're having a hard time going to sleep, don't keep checking the clock and worrying about whether or not you were losing some sleep. Instead, remove all kind of disruptions like TV, stereos, and books. Try limiting the use of the bedroom for anything besides sleep. Sometimes we got a habit of taking our books to bed to read and study. I don't recommend that. Although I do recommend that for good studying practices, you might want to study before going to sleep, but not in the bedroom. Go ahead and do your studying outside the bedroom. But you want to kind of remove all those kind of distractions. If you do need additional type of help to kind of help you through the day, you might want to exercise, because physical exercise activity will help work away any kind of tension you might have, which tension can make you sleep. I mean, not have good sleep. But let me also say, when you exercise, don't overdo it. Okay, too much exercise, and especially if it's late in the day, it's only going to build up your energy and fire you up instead of making you relax. So you want to kind of try to keep that at a nice, even, moderate pace and do it during regular hours. An erratic schedule that can disrupt biological rhythms. Okay, so you want to be able to try to get up the same time each day. Avoid stimulants like coffee, tea, soft drinks, chocolate. Yeah, chocolate stimulates, as well as some of your medications might, if you're taking medication, might have caffeine in it and can be problematic. You also want to avoid nicotine, because nicotine may be even more potent as a sleep disruptor. Try avoiding late meals as well as drinking heavy. Overindulgence in anything can interfere with your normal sleep patterns, to be honest. But stop worrying. You want to try to focus your problems at a set time earlier within the day. So you want to try to start making some pre-sleep rituals. Follow that same ritual every evening. If you like music, then listen to music. You can do journaling, or where you're writing in a diary. Meditation is even a good thing. When you go to bed, there's a great thing called progressive muscle relaxation, in which what you're doing is you're tensing up your body, go through the motions, and this all helps you in terms of relaxing from head to toe. Okay? These gentle exercises will help you to relax. You want to try to use fantasies, things that's going to make you feel woosah. So imagine yourself within a tranquil setting. See yourself on a beach if you love beaches, the nice warm sandy beach. Feel the sand between your toes and how you can curl up on your towel. You're reading a good book. Whatever it is that makes you feel good and makes you feel relaxed, that's what type of fantasy you should put yourself in. Okay? It's about relaxation. You can use deep breathing, taking in deep breaths, allowing yourself that you're feeling pleasant and good as you're trying to fall asleep. Finally, a warm bath or a warm shower. Either way, this can help to induce drowsiness because it kind of sends the blood away from your brain to your skin surface. All right, so we're going to stop here. When we get back to the next part, 3, we will start talking about those psychoactive drugs.